Hey guys and girls, it's Blackjack with 396 Guitars, part 2 of the P-Bass shaped object that we had to put a shim in the neck the last video. It's a young person's bass guitar, her first purchase on her own apparently. I got a little more background on it. She said, give it to me, let me evaluate it, set it up. It needed more than a setup. I'm going to refer to the first video, but I'm going to kind of, while I'm showing you what I'm doing now, I'm going to talk about what we did in the first video. So let's get to work. And remember, as always, if you dig what I'm doing, like and subscribe. So we were trying to do a setup before. I was going to restring it and do a setup for this young lady, but it was not in the cards initially because we had to lower this. We had to adjust the truss rod and lower the string action way down. And we got to the end of the adjustment, and all the saddle screws are poking way up, very prominently, and they should not be. So I took the neck off. We put a shim in there, and that brought us to today, where just out of curiosity, I wanted to look at the electronics in it. I'm not at all surprised. Very nondescript stuff. This is an entry-level bass guitar, shaped like a P-Bass, but while I had it off, I decided why leave this crap on there, because it never wants to come off unless you take all the screws off. So while I did that, I figured, well, let's get them off of there. And you know, it's going to give me trouble right there. I believe that is 11, oh, it's a 10. I don't know why I thought it would be 11. I've had a rash of 11 millimeter sized shit lately. Loosen the bolt. Hold it from the back. Loosen the bolt. Hold it from the back. Or loosen the nut, I should say. Hopefully, the plastic will pop out from underneath there nicely, which it did. Hold the back, tighten it back up, hold the back, tighten it back up. I know I'm not in the movie perfectly, but just bear with me. That's a 13 for sure. And yeah, I've done tutorials on this crap before. You can't just pull the plastic off. No, that would be too easy. You kind of have to loosen stuff. And the only way to do that correctly is to take the whole thing off. Otherwise, plastic stays down in there, right? You all know that. And I figured while I had it out looking at the inside of it, I would get that stuff cleaned up and get it off of there. Yep, follow. My hammer fell down and spilled my screws all over the place. Yeah, warts and all. Organic videos. Mistakes happen. What do you want from me? I'm human. Am I going to edit that out? No, I don't ever edit a video. You guys can bitch about that until the cows come home. It ain't going to happen. This is how guitars get worked on. This is how guitars get fixed. I'm not Martin Scorsese. Of course, this pickup is going to give me a hard time. Get up in there. Get up in there. You know, the last time we did a P-Bass, it gave me trouble. I worked on an American Professional series and put Seymour Duncans in it for a guy. And the damn pickups didn't want to poke through the holes. These are on springs. I gotta say, I admire that upgrade. At least for a cheap guitar, there's springs and not just foam rubber under there. Stand by while I tussle with this. Okay, so got that back on, tightened all the screws down. Yeah, those little pickups were fighting me, and it did on that last one I did too, and the other one was a Corona, California. I like that these are on springs. That professional 2P base that I mentioned earlier, they had the old style little piece of foam rubber under there. That's the spring. These actually have springs like as if it were like a Les Paul style. They go up and down. Very cool. I don't know about the pickups, but they're making sound, and we're going to double check that now because I had that pick guard off of there. I always do this. Before I get too far along, I want to make sure I didn't booger up any wiring, because you know. We're golden. Just a double check before you go put the whole thing back together and then go, why isn't it making sound? Well, you had the pick guard off. Things can happen. Yeah. All right, so we took the plastic off of there. We're going to clean it really quickly. I am going to dress the frets only because now is the time to do that. This is a really cheap board. It's it actually has a laminated fretboard on a piece of maple, it looks like. I'm going to clean up the frets really quickly. I'll be back in 2 seconds, and then we're going to string it and see how our shim project worked out. All right, so quickly, just to show you, we're doing the fret polishing. We already cleaned them. I kind of sanded them lightly. And now we're just finishing it up with some polish. And yeah, needed it. Why not? Now's the time to do it, and you won't have to worry about it for a year or so until the next time you do a full setup. Now the frets are cleaned and polished, and you see all the crap that comes off. That's the tarnish. You know, there's a million other steps. I mean, you could go hog wild polishing frets. I mean, there's a million steps, or you can concentrate on other things. But this gets them done, gets them standing tall. They were a little tarnished, not horrible, but you can see a lot of tarnish came off, and there's still a little bit left. But this keeps that green, tarnish, moldy stuff from getting on there. And we're going to oil it as well. Why not? I'm already here. Right. A little bit of oil. You guys have all seen this process. I'm not going to waste a bunch of video time on it. Yeah, it's not an ebony board, but it's still exposed wood, and it still needs to be treated every once in a while. I don't know how old this guitar is, and I'm gonna give it some oil, some love, because I think it needs it. And this will help facilitate getting the rest of the tarnish off of the frets. As you can see, that's just applying it, and there's still tarnish coming off. So I'm going to let that set for a few minutes. I'm going to pause. Stand by. So, yeah, we wiped it down. We cleaned it up. We're going to put some new strings on it. The nut is suspect, but I think we'll be all right. These plastic nondescript nuts, make sure that your string does not catch in there. And if you have to, just use the string to clean up the sides. This one was catching. It is not anymore. Now, later on, if I need to address first fret height, I will. But for now, we're stringing it up. String's going to live here. Down in the movie. String is going to live here. 1, 2, 3. Cut it off. And go to town. One wrap. I'd like to see at least 3 wraps. I might have gone too far. We'll see. too much string on there. Nope, just enough. Yep. And as I suspected, because of our shim repair, our strings are right on the board. That's what we want. Now we'll see what happens when we get all 4 of them on there and they put tension, but then we can start to lift instead of having to lower and run out of adjustment. Because we put our shim in there, we should be able to gain back that adjustment in raising it. Okay, so stand by. Let me get the rest of the strings on. So here's your freak out moment. When you perform this operation, putting a shim in here to make up for incorrect neck angle, and you're slammed all the way down on the bridge, when you restring it, that's exactly what I wanted to see, because now we're going to bring our string action up. We were all the way down, ran out of adjustment, and still had to go, and it exposed all of our set screws. So you go to bringing up the saddles. Now, yeah, they need to come up quite a bit, and I'm going to bring them up just to where the screw is now. I'm not even going to measure. I'm just going to bring them all up until the screw is level with the top of the saddle, because right now they're all sticking up. And that should give us a good starting point. And if we're too high, we're too high. If we're too low, well, we know we have adjustment to go up. And now we have adjustment to go down. Right? Yeah. You know they all have to come up. I hope you're following the physics of this. It seems like a mystery to a lot of people, but it's not really. If you just pay attention a little bit. Looks like the G might still have too much, but that I can't fix, and I'm not about to pull those set screws out and shave them down. That's another operation for another day. So now they're not buzzing on the fretboard. So here we have to start our all over with our setup and make sure that we're first tuned to pitch, to make sure we have whatever the string tension is going to be, it's going to be. And then go to measure in the neck relief, the string height, and then get into intonation. And you just want to get close here. We're not fine tuning yet. I hear the neck finding its spot. I hear the strings finding their spot. There. All right, we're tuned up the pitch. Now I know I can take a measurement on the neck, and I know that it's got whatever string tension is going to be there, it's there. Doesn't seem like the first fret action is that bad. I'm just doing a quick check, but yeah, it's settling. I think we need to put a little more relief in it. I think we need to put a little more relief. No, I'm going to roll with that. Might be actually a little too much, but let's roll with that and see where. I think we might have to back it off a little bit, but I'm not going to do that just yet. Right now I want to see where our string height is at. Make sure I'm in the video here a little bit better. Right. So where are we? Just out of curiosity. 5/64. 4, 4, just over 4. So the low E is about as low as I want it to be. And looking at our saddle screws, all of a sudden now, they're not protruding anymore. If you can see that, they're almost level with the saddles. And that's what we accomplished by putting that shim in. Now, I know the A needs to come up. And this is what we were after, being able to fine tune now. And this is also when you want to pay attention to how level your saddles are. I'm pretty sure everything still needs to come up slightly, but here we can set it now. I'm going to roll with just over 5 on the low E. The A needs to come up. Whatever you do on one side of the saddle, repeat it on the other side of the saddle. So I just did a whole turn on the A. Right at 5. Same thing with the D. Felt loose. Right at 5. Same thing with the G, a little bit low. Right at 5. Now, I want to tune up the pitch again, because effectively by lifting those saddles, we put more tension on the strings. So we want to tune the pitch again, and then double check our string height. Then we can go to fine tuning, such as intonation, pickup height, things like that. If you can get 5/64 on the low E on any bass, you're standing tall. And what we're going to check for is buzzing, and that's going to tell us whether we need to get more relief in there. But we're there. We are there, and I'd like to see where the pickup height is at, because that, you know, I always say it, it's an overlooked adjustment. Most guys don't even check it. Too close. Too close. Perfect. So I think the low side, the treble, the bass side needs to go down. I think these pickups are a little too close. Actually, that one needs to come up. one needs to come up. Like that. Like that. I think I can live with that. Yeah, that looks pretty sharp. We didn't stretch these strings at all, and just like a guitar, you have to stretch the strings a little bit on a bass. That helps them seat in the saddle and the nut. You don't have to go nuts with it, but it's good to do it. It helps facilitate settling into tune and pitch much quicker. Beautiful. I like that. I wonder. Even on cheap guitars, I almost always get that dead on. Yeah, the intonation is very nice on this already. So, got some buzzing. That could be actually high frets there. No, I think we need to raise the action on the low E. I knew that was going to probably be too low for what this guitar can sustain. Yep, it just wanted to be a little bit taller on the low E. Same thing on the A. Nope, that's a high fret. That fret right there is high. How do we know that? Doesn't buzz there, buzzes there, doesn't buzz there. That fret right there, the 12th fret on the A, is a little bit higher right there. Got some high frets down there too, but I don't think this young lady's going to be playing down there or up there. Yeah, got some buzzing going on here. I think we're going to try to raise it slightly on all. Just because of my intuition tells me that this guitar is probably not going to sustain a super low action. Yeah, I think we'll be okay now. Actually, you know what? Bass guitar, I'm going to actually put it in the bass amp.
Why? Because I got a bass amp right here.
Let's just try her out a little bit. That fret, that guy right there. Yep. Got another high fret right there. It's weird because that 12th fret is not high on the D string. Slightly. Pretty nice. I like it. I like it. It's a neat little guitar. It's a great beginner guitar for a young player, and that was the whole object of this. I'm glad she brought it to me, or had her uncle bring it to me. I'm sorry. I'm going to double check all the measurements. I'm pretty sure we're at a stable enough point here where we're going to be able to give this back to her and let her play it. And it's going to stand tall. It's a pretty hot little, I mean, these pickups actually sound like they got some punch to them. Yeah, we went up to 6, 5, 5, 5. So I did go up slightly on the low E. That's not uncommon. I do it on even some of my own basses. Just because, you know, the big string, it's moving around a lot. 6/64 is not bad. If you can get it at 5, it's even better. So yeah, got a, what is it now? A Palmer P-bass shaped object for a young player. We had to do some extra work on it, but it was pretty cool. We got it playing and standing tall now. It's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. Thanks for hanging in there. We'll talk soon. Remember, if you dig what I'm doing, like and subscribe.